Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Weekly Planet, official podcast of comicbookmovie.com, where we talk movies, comics, TV shows. My name is James, also known as Mr. Sunday. With me as always, Nick Mason.
It's me. It's bloody windy out, isn't it?
It is a bit windy.
Bit windy.
Is it?
Nice weather we're having, other than the wind. You know?
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, in many ways, that is correct.
Mm-hmm.
Any other weather updates, or should we just get into it?
Let me just check the app.
Sure.
Bit windy out.
Okay, good.
Yep.
Confirmed.
Yep.
You heard it here
now,
first.
that's a slice of my personal life, everybody. If you want to know
how windy it is.
Everybody's always coming at me like, what's the deal with your private life? It's a bit windy out.
That's got insight you can expect on this show.
Yeah.
Speaking of expecting something, suicide.
You're pregnant. Oh.
I wish, Mason. The joys of fatherhood. If I could carry a baby, I would love it. Suicide Squad extended cut.
There's a little slice of James's private life. You like that?
He's insane. There's a Suicide Squad extended cut.
Well.
coming our way, yeah.
Well.
David Ayer said that there wasn't going to be one, that was it. Remember, this is not director's cut. This is
in
extended.
An unprecedented move that no one could possibly have predicted, except there was precedent and I predicted it. They're doing the same thing they did with Batman, Superman.
Yep.
Now, you were telling me the other day that it's like, how much extra
It's like
footage
12
is there?
or 13 minutes.
Which is not, according to Jared Leto.
Yeah.
Am I saying that? I've been saying Jared Leto wrong.
Might be Leto.
Could be Leto.
Yeah.
Maybe two T's.
That's true.
Leto.
Let's not change.
Okay. So, according to him,
Yeah.
he filmed a movie's worth of Joker scenes.
Yes.
That doesn't sound like that's more than 12 minutes worth.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know, here's my hit prediction.
Right.
We get a third release.
Like a Joker.
They're gonna. The
here's Joker Files or something.
It's gonna be. Here's my prediction: Suicide Squad Joker's Wild Edition, because they bloody love saying that, right? It's
Sure, yeah.
I'm gonna say. Here's my prediction: within a year of this version coming out,
Yep.
there will be a version where they've added the Joker scenes.
Okay,
in.
fair enough. You know, that would not surprise me at all. Do you think that would make
dogs.
Jared Leto very happy?
No.
No.
I don't. Are they gonna? They're gonna get him back for.
Well, he's contracted.
Yeah, right.
But then again, you can break anything if you want to.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He doesn't have to.
Fine Han Dynasty urn.
That's right.
Break that if you want.
I thought you were going to say a fine tooth comb.
You could break that if you want.
You absolutely could.
Could break anything here if I wanted.
Please don't.
No, I'm gonna.
People
You
have
set me off. DC set me off.
People are branding the DC EU the DLC EU.
That's very good.
Yeah, because of all this extended stuff. You know what, people? There's a lot of talk of, is it ripping off people and blah-de-blah? Well, it's not, because you don't have to watch it in that way. I don't mind an extended cut when the first cut clearly hasn't been like just hatcheted down. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly, yeah.
Like the Lord of the Rings, I really like those extended cuts because they flesh out already really great movies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But this is just...
There's nothing... I mean, you know, when DVDs first became a thing, I'm like, it's all this extra stuff, all the blooper reels and all the bonus things that are great.
Yeah, absolutely.
But now they've just marketed it in a slightly different way, and I'm like, oh, I'm sick to death of this.
Do you remember, I was thinking about this the other day. Do you remember when they first brought out DVDs? The movie that they kept pushing was Swordfish. And that explosion in Swordfish, you know,
That's
that 360
right, yeah.
degree explosion?
Ah.
Remember, it was like, this is DVD. And it's like, phew, you can choose the angle or whatever.
No one's ever chosen the angle.
No.
No one's ever...
No one's ever been given that option.
If anybody knows of a DVD movie,
Yeah.
like a real theatrical cut movie, where you could choose a different angle to literally any scene, please let me know, because
Yeah.
I would love to hear about that.
And not some experimental nonsense.
Yeah.
Like a Swordfish.
Exactly.
Or a Van Helsing. Or another Hugh Jackman movie. Paperback
Hero. Well, what's he in that? He's like
He's
a trucker,
driver.
but he also writes
He
romance
writes romance novels with
Okay,
Claudia
cool.
Carvin, who's great. She played Natalie Portman's sister in the Star Wars movies, but they cut it out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's got scenes together. She's like, this dude you're with is a bit unbalanced. She's like, nah, he's all right. But he wasn't. He was, I don't even know if that was the scene. Anyway, it's not worth it, Mason.
Anyway, I can't deal with this drama. I'm going to go away with my husband, Lobot. She's married to Lobot. He's older than you'd think.
You can't tell with the shaved head, can you?
You can't tell with his shaved head. And you know what? It's all about the ears.
Yep.
Does he have wrinkled ears? No way of knowing.
He could have just that horseshoe baldness under those, that metal thing strapped to
under
his
those
head.
cans.
Yeah, that's right. So Ben Affleck was asked about the Batman movie, which is apparently titled The Batman, and he's like, that's not necessarily what it's called. And he was also like, it's not necessarily happening yet, so everybody calm down. Because last week, the Warner Brothers CEO was like, 18 months, you'll see it, get ready, hype yourself up. And he was like, he's up, come on. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, look, I just think he doesn't want to get ahead of himself. I'm sure it's happening.
And I'm sure it's called the Batman.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a week of things being named things.
Certainly is.
We've got, like, speaking of Hubert Jackman,
Yeah.
the paperback hero himself. His latest Wolverine movie's got a title.
It has.
Logan.
Oh, how do you say that?
Kenny Loggins.
Kenny Leto. Okay, good.
And
Interesting.
look, and they put you've got that written down, I assume.
I do, yeah.
Yeah, and it's got it's a Schindler's List-esque
Yes, it is.
poster. It's got the Wolverine's hand, he's got the claws,
Yep.
and he's holding a child's hand. A child who must have very long
Yes,
fingers.
that's right. That was the first thing that people pointed out. I didn't notice that, if I'm honest, but I like the trailer. I mean, not the trailer. I like the poster.
Yeah, me too.
You like it? Yeah. And I this is not Old Man Logan. I know people are like this. It can't be.
There's no, they
not
don't
enough
have
characters for
They don't have the
one.
rights to enough characters. Yeah.
Yeah. As I've said before, make the Captain America movie. Make an Old Man Logan movie with Captain America. Because they have every other character. Just a few of all the X-Men are dead anyway in that story.
That's true.
So it doesn't even
Spoiler
matter.
alert.
Yeah. Like the second main character is Hawkeye. There's a version of Daredevil. There's Kingpin.
Yep.
There's like
The
Loki,
Hulks.
The Hulks. There's like Loki's skeleton. There's Red Skull. There's Spider-Man and Spider Cars and stuff. There's Venom. They have all a symbiote anyway. It's on a dinosaur. It's pretty great.
That's true.
Yeah, so anyway, they should do it. That being said, this looks like so it looks like X-23 Old Man Logan. That's what it is.
Okay, that's kind of fun.
Because the little girl. Remember that was hinted at the end of the last
Yeah.
whatever that was?
That's right. Okay.
There was a briefcase or something.
Yes, there was. It was bloody Nathan Essex's briefcase, yeah.
Now this one's set in 2024, which is around
Who cares? Who cares what time any of these movies are set? It doesn't matter. The timeline's ruined. Just set it whenever. Set it tomorrow. Set it in
the past.
Set it in the 30s. It doesn't matter. Who cares?
But it's interesting because Days of Future Past is set also around that time. So, but he looks much older in this universe
Right.
than he does in the. I know it's a different set of circumstances, but you'd think in the universe where robots didn't take over and enslave everybody,
He'd look a little
he'd look
fresher in the
better.
mornings.
But apparently his healing factor's kind of broken and run down, which is very Old Man Logan. It's a bit slower because when he gets riddled with bullets, he's down for a bit.
It's probably that weird spider parasite in his chest.
It might have
in
been
the Wolverine.
the squid or whatever
The squid,
it was.
yeah.
And he's wheeling around Professor X, whose mind is like failing and he can't like remember stuff. So that's going to be a real fun time, isn't it?
Sounds hilarious.
They released another behind the scene image of a dude's arm that's been cut off with holding a shotgun. So
Okay.
it's pushing the R rating
Which
in a big
is
way.
that you know what? That's actually quite a nice nod to. I didn't see that photo, but that sounds like quite a nice nod to the first X-Men movie.
Oh, right.
Where he claws off the guy's shotgun.
Yeah.
And leaves his arms untouched.
Not this time.
Not this time. He's gone a little
Is that
far.
enough, mate?
Do you think Ernest, like, I was going to say, do you think Ernest is coming back in movies? He's not.
He's dead,
Ernest going
isn't
to
he?
camp.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like, movies being more earnest. Do you think there's a
Right.
pushback?
So not gritty.
Yeah, like more sincere.
I hope so. I like sincerity.
Because we're going to talk about some trailers in a little bit.
Yeah.
And they do all seem very, like, straightforward and not kind of... When you think of maybe a Marvel movie, there's a lot of jokes and there's a lot of,
Sure, depending on the movie.
Yeah,
but
there's a lot of
sure.
levity, but a lot of these trailers, I'm like, these are very, like, sincere.
But there's trailers, like, if you remember the Iron Man 3 trailer was very, very sincere.
Yeah, that's
It was
true.
like, my life's over, I'm stuck in the woods, my heart is going to explode or something. I can't
Yeah,
remember.
no, you're right.
And then that
Okay.
was just like a wacky madcap adventure.
Oh, well, maybe it's just the trailer companies.
Exactly. It's the
Maybe something sad happened in the world of
trailer
companies.
They lost one of the greats.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know any of their names. I'm sorry. But I'm sorry if that's the case.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I'm not massive on these X-Men movies, if I'm honest. They I got a revamped First Class. I was like, great, back on board. Days of Future Past, I was like, okay. And then the last one was kind of okay.
Look, and I think I've said this before, but I'm at the point where I'm feeling every single second of these movies. Like if it goes for 2 and a bit hours, I go, oh, this is a long one. So maybe just, I don't know if this, again, based solely on this poster,
Yeah.
it seems like there's going to be a lot of just moments where Wolverine sits and thinks. So I don't know if this is going to be any more brisk, but if they could find a way to pick up the pace,
if you could
really
brisk it up a little.
If you could, yeah.
Bit of brisket wouldn't hurt. Mm-hmm. I'm sure it'll be...
I could go some brisket right now.
Okay, interesting. Maybe we'll get some brisket after the show. Did you like The Wolverine?
Yeah, I did a lot.
There you go. See, that had a robot samurai in it, didn't it?
Because he wasn't super invincible all the time. So
we're going to find... Yeah,
exactly. This is going to be more my speed. Except it's going to be really slow. And I'm going to hate it.
Introspective. I think the word you're looking for. So there was also a Justice League behind-the-scenes set video released, which is basically... it was Zack Snyder saying, we've finished principal photography. Thanks for having a great Justice League, everyone. Yeah. We had a good time.
Everybody does seem to be having a good time.
Yeah.
Can I be opening this, by the way?
Oh, shit, yeah. We're doing a Loot Crate unboxing as well. Don't worry, Mason. It's all news this week. We're going to do Harry Potter. We even watched them in preparation, the first two. But then there's so much New York Comic-Con stuff. We didn't want to... We have so many thoughts and feelings about Harry Potter.
Yeah. Fun fact about Harry Potter.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen the second one. That's not really a fun fact about Harry Potter, is it? It's a fun fact about my private personal life. But I hadn't seen the second one.
That's two fun facts.
I thought I'd seen all of them up until the last one, which I haven't seen.
Yeah.
But it turns out I hadn't seen. So it turns out there's a lot of moments that I thought were inexplicable in the last few Harry Potter movies where I'm like, this is dumb. Why is there a car in the woods? Why is there a wild car in the woods? Because of Harry Potter 2, I hadn't seen it.
Does that car turn up again?
Yeah, it's bloody roars out of the woods in 6 or something.
I don't know if that's true.
Well.
Maybe you've just seen the trailer for this or something. Yeah. Did I accidentally... So I spoiled that movie for you then?
No.
Because you messaged me today and you were like, I'm halfway through. And I went, spoiler alert, it's a giant snake.
It was probably going to be a giant snake.
Well, it is.
Yeah.
All right, well, what do you got? First item from the Loot Crate.
I'm going to crack open the Loot Crate. I think the theme, it's some sort of racing related thing.
Yeah, it's speed, man.
Speed.
Yeah.
And here's one, the Stark Motor Racing t-shirt.
Ah, cool.
Iron Man 2.
From the best moment from
best
that,
scene in the movie. Exactly,
yeah, absolutely. Bloody hell, I love that
I'm
scene.
a huge fan of, I've said this before, I'm a huge fan of fake...
T-shirt?
No, real t-shirts.
Fake t-shirts for fake companies.
He's on them, yeah. Okay.
Like Wayland Yutani or
exactly,
or
Nakatomi Plaza. I mean, it's going to go on the bloody pile. I'm enjoying that a lot. Anyway.
Good stuff.
Yeah, anyway, Justice League.
Justice League, yeah, so...
Everybody looks like they're having a bloody good time in that movie.
A bloody great time, mate. Did you... there's a bit where you see Wonder Woman and a blonde woman catch like a giant thing.
Yeah, I wondered about that. I thought maybe it's my initial thought was it's her and her stunt double.
Okay.
And they're sort of mirroring.
Right.
Like the stunt double's like, okay, you do it and you drop it and you hold it like this.
Right,
and she's kind of copying and they might split it in her and they're only filming her maybe.
Yeah.
But then maybe it's
Could
like
be
another
Themyscira,
Amazon.
yeah.
Might be Artemis.
Some people have said like other female superheroes, like is it a version of Supergirl or whatever?
Oh, interesting.
I think we'd know by now if it was that. But no, you see Jason Momoa looks like he's having a real fun time. Speaking of Mason,
yes,
I meant to actually open this. We got a Justice League exclusive.
Oh, the Justice League exclusive. This was a couple of weeks ago.
This was a couple of weeks ago, and I meant to read it out, and I forgot to. So if you just give me a second, Mason.
Okay. Well, speaking of things that I was going to mention, but then I forgot. While you're bringing that up, I'm on this week's episode of Scamapalooza on iTunes.
That finally came out.
Exactly, it finally came out. Nicholas J. Johnson dropped the ball for a real long time, and now he's back on the ball.
He's back on it.
So last time I was on the show, we talked about the film Now You See Me, the delightful magician bad film. Now You See Me, that was inexplicably very popular.
Terrible.
And this time around, we talked about the sequel. And I quite enjoyed it because as I was watching it, I could see he was slowly losing the will to live. But anyway, we talk about that. It's a good time.
The person turning into money in this one is a person turning into water. Is that right? They fall into a puddle.
Somebody turns into water. Yep. Somebody turns into water.
It's just their clothes.
There's a we're throwing a card around a room scene that goes about 5 minutes longer than it should. It's real. I had a real good time, but maybe not because it's great.
Now, I might not say the person's name. I can probably say his first name, can't I?
Zach S.
Zach S. That's not him who sent it. It's either Ali or Ali, but it's spelled A-L-I. So I never know.
I'm going to say Ali.
He's given us some scoops before.
Oh, really?
He's had some inside information. He told us that Akbar was Backbar for Star Wars. Because he's got friends who in the UK who work on the sets. There's a Star Wars potential spoiler here, which I'm going to sit on that because I feel like if it's true, it's a very big reveal.
Wow.
And I don't want to...
And you love, if nothing else, you love sitting on big reveals.
Well, I just don't want to ruin it.
They're very sharp.
I just don't want to ruin it for everybody. But I think also, could be one of those things where they filmed multiple things.
Oh,
so it
sure.
could be one of many.
So it might turn out that Ali's going to look quite the fool.
Exactly. Well, bear in mind with this, this is not confirmed by any stretch. This is just a guy who I found pretty reliable. So if this doesn't turn out to be true, so be it.
I'm going to say this is going to be 100% true. You are staking your whole career on this.
Okay. Hang on, I got to find it again.
Oh, jeez. Well, while you're doing that, I'm going to crack open another thing. In this bloody Loot Crate case, we have... Look, James, look at it. Look at it. It's a keyring.
Oh, that's from the best Batwing.
It's the Batwing keyring from the Burton Batman. Are we going to talk about Tim Burton? We're going to talk about Tim Burton this week.
What did he do this week?
He said he defended the fact that what's the School for Peculiar Children film?
Oh, that one that's come out. Did that do well?
Probably I don't know. Not. But basically, everybody in it's white except Sam Jackson, and he's like, I don't care.
I'm old now, baby.
Right? Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Oh, this is great.
That is really cool.
No, I'm against it. He should bloody...
What? Yeah, well, you probably should. I don't know. I don't know anything about those books or
exactly. And
movies.
But at the same time, like, Tim Burton isn't even diverse in his casting of white people, ultimately. It's just Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham Carter and then some other people.
Now he got Eva Green because him and Helena Bonham Carter split up. So he went...
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Right.
I assume that's how it...
Oh, this is great. This is a Batwing key. This Batwing...
Yeah.
I don't. It's one of those things that I don't even necessarily want to put in my pocket because I'll scrape off the enamel.
I'll have it then. I'll keep it for you.
You cannot have it.
Well, I got my own anyway.
Yeah, I know.
But I want two.
Wow.
I'll make them battle in my pocket, scraping the enamel off each other.
You just want to watch the world burn.
Okay, so these aren't major spoilers, but apparently there's a scene. But if you don't want to know, I'll put spoilers in the bottom. There's a graveyard scene where Superman gets shot a lot.
Okay.
And his buddy's son Logan, who's love a first birthday shout out, so shout out. He got one of the bullet casings.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Apparently in the scene, the names on the crew on the gravestones. I'm not going to say the guy's name who's on it because then that would...
Zed Snyder.
That would ruin his career potentially. Superman does not have a mullet.
Yes.
Boo. Which we saw in that behind the scenes footage.
That's true. I mean, there's surely... Potentially you could add it in post.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah.
They've teased the black suit as well.
They've given him a little green screen reverse bib. It's just down the back of his neck, so they can add whatever they want. They can add regular hair. They can just add a regular neck,
ponytail, pigtails,
anything they want.
Those Pippi Longstocking ones that
that's right.
Turn out. Mm-hmm. Apparently, filming was cancelled one day because Aquaman was too drunk.
Wow,
love it. Zack Snyder's a really nice bloke. Jason Momoa's a really nice bloke. Ezra Miller is not. Sick burn on Ezra Miller.
That is a sick burn.
After watching a crew cut, which makes me think the Wonder Woman the Warner Brothers employees, it's true, Wonder Woman is indeed a crap film. Then we heard a rumor about that. And Justice League apparently has a great script, and the budget for the green screen department was over $1 million.
Huh.
So...
Wait, is that just the people that roll out green screens?
Yeah, the greens, man. Huh. That's what they're called.
The greenies.
The greenies. Mm-hmm. So... Getting back to that Wonder Woman thing, there was that rumor that it was kind of a mess.
A mess.
And even if it is a mess...
And when they say rumor, it was just somebody... Ultimately, it was just somebody who claimed to be near to that production.
Right.
But it was just somebody taking a guess.
Oh,
because a movie's either good or it's not good. Yeah. And they just flipped a coin and went, I'll just say it's not good.
Right. Mm-hmm. But the thing is as well, that movie's... it's a bit under a year away. You got to take into account someone else could re-edit, reshoots. So even if that is true that it's not looking good, I don't really think it's that big a deal at this point. Yeah, but that would be bad if that comes out and that's not good. Like right, sure. That's going to be very interesting.
And we'll all stop watching them. No, we won't.
No, we won't. Well, then you got Justice League just around the corner, so I guess it's not the end of the world. But that trailer looks spectacular, so hopefully they can, if there is problems with it, they can fix it. But like I said, all of that is rumoured. Yep. All of that could change. Don't email me to tell me that I'm wrong, because, well, I won't read it probably.
Yeah, we get a lot of emails. Yeah. Speaking of Ezra Miller, The Flash.
The worst bloke, apparently.
Yeah, look at this.
What is that? Is that a hood ornament?
It's a Flash hood ornament.
Nice.
I'm going to put this on my car and see how long it takes until it's stolen.
Are you really going to do that?
No, I probably won't. It'll be almost... Did you know, I saw this recently, Rolls-Royce hood ornaments, if you try and steal one, they retract back into the car.
Really?
So if you see a Rolls-Royce out in the street,
give it a go.
Just give it a tug.
Interesting.
Maybe not all of them.
Yeah,
but all the recent ones.
No,
like you pull on it and close, yeah.
Takes one of your fingers off.
Exactly, that's right. Maybe don't do it.
Good stuff. That looks really cool.
I know, right?
What do you stick that on with, though? Is it an adhesive?
Let me check. It's magnetized. Just as put it on there.
So you don't obviously take it off.
Yeah, take it
when
off.
you park.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Mason, I know you're excited for Pirates 5.
No.
Favorites.
You're confusing me with someone else?
Johnny
but I don't know
Depp,
who.
maybe?
No.
He's probably excited for it. Is he? Anyway, we saw a trailer this week.
We did see a trailer this week.
We saw...
So that's not NYCC trailer.
No, that was just
a regular trailer.
We'll get to that, Mason.
Oh,
we'll get to the NYCC news. I know you are. You want to woo away. But basically, it's what's his name? The dude from Bond. Javier Bardem. Biggest face in Hollywood. One of.
Yep.
I don't want to make that claim, actually. And he looks like he's doing his Raoul Silver thing, except he's covered in ink.
Do you think maybe that's his natural state of being?
It might be, yeah.
Raoul Silver?
Raoul Silver. And do you notice his hair has that, it's got like an underwater effect. So it looks like it's swooshing about.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It seems like a really expensive effect to do for no reason. But they love their bloody CGI villains. Like Davy Jones was a big squid-faced
Squid Man, yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So
who are these guys? Are they related to... Because I initially thought, that's the Davy Jones crew.
No, because they changed back or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Because the reason they looked the way they did. Here's a bit of Pirates history for you, Mason. Get ready, everybody.
Here we go. Wait, real pirates or?
No.
Oh,
I know no thing. Oh, yeah, you know, they wear an eye patch, so when they come... They come from downstairs, they can see.
I don't think that's true.
No, it's true because you know when
I reckon that's just poop. A lot of people on a ship with bung eyes, if you ask me. You get scurvy in your eye. You get scurvy in your eyes, man.
They didn't need enough vitamin C. That's why. Did we know somebody who got scurvy?
Yeah, it was me.
Was it?
Yeah.
How did you get scurvy? It's not even a real thing anymore.
Yeah,
you don't eat enough fruit, mate. That's your problem.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I don't know officially if I got scurvy. But I got a little scaly.
Okay, sure.
So maybe I was turning into a
little
merman.
Scurvy, sure. So what happened was Davy Jones was supposed to be taking like the people to the underworld. That was his job.
Yep.
And if he didn't do maybe that was his job. Whatever his job was, he wasn't doing it. So all his crew turned into like fish men.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. And then and then the guy Will,
the Orlando Bloom.
The Orlando Bloom. Yeah. Sorry, it took over. No one would know if I said Will. People are like, who? What? The Orlando Bloom
Will.
Character. He took over at the end and he became the captain. And he can only touch on land every 10 years. So when this movie comes out, it will be 10 years since we last saw him.
Oh.
Which means I think that guy in the trailer is his kid.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Is Orlando Bloom in this one?
I believe he is.
Okay. Is Johnny Depp in this one?
Yes.
There's a conspicuous absence of Johnny Depp.
Maybe it's because he was accused of some things.
Yeah, it's probably because he was accused of some things.
Yeah. On the topic of that, Mason.
Oh, jeez.
Here we go. No, I'm just saying, I don't know whether he did or he didn't, but people are so quick to either condemn or defend. Condemn or defend when we don't have all the information. Do you know what I mean? So why don't we just like ease up and just let it play out? You know what I mean? He could be a good bloke. He might not be. I don't know.
I reckon he probably did.
Okay, sure.
I reckon he's a bad bloke. Just going on record.
All right, what do we got?
What do we got? Check this out.
Gone in 60 Seconds.
It's Eleanor. It's Nick Cage's white whale of cars. It's a little Matchbox version.
In that movie, why did he pick that car last? You get that car first.
You get the car first, and then if nothing else works out, at least you've got the car you
exactly.
wanted. Yeah?
That's right. But like, because then also you've wasted a day, haven't you?
Yeah, that's true.
If you leave that till last, you'd be like, well, I stole all those other cars and I bloody wasted a day.
It's
you know
true.
What I mean? Pointless.
What an idiot.
Yeah, what an
Great
idiot.
car, though.
Yeah, I agree.
And when he jumped the thing with it?
No.
Okay, never mind then.
Because unlike Fast and the Furious, this one didn't get 7 sequels, even though they're pretty much the same movie.
Yeah, I know. Weird, right?
Yeah. Mad. I think it was neck and neck for who was going to get like all the sequels at one point. I'm sure that was a...
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, you're
because
right.
I'm sure Fast and Furious is just a Gone in 60 Seconds knockoff.
It is, but I guess, you know what?
Because Gone in 60 Seconds is an old film, isn't it?
That's true,
it's a remake, yeah.
Yeah.
What are you going to say?
And is The Fast and the Furious, or... They've taken the name from an old film.
Oh, maybe they have, yeah.
What I was going to say is Gone in 60 Seconds had all the stars in it. So maybe that's... Yeah, exactly. We're going to go to some cars! The thing that he Nick caged it.
I did, yeah.
But maybe that was its downfall, that it had a whole bunch of recognisable names who then have to go on and do other projects.
Oh, okay.
Right, Gone in 60...
Who was in it? Angelina Jolie was
Angelina Jolie was in it.
Yeah.
Giovanni Ribisi was in it, the great...
Of course. Wasn't he the bad guy?
Probably.
What a twist.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, it had at least 2 big stars who then would have to go on and do other stuff.
Have
who
to
can't
make,
just sit
make a
about.
Tomb Raider.
Yeah,
make a national treasure.
Yeah, make a Tomb Raider Cradle of Life.
Make an Avatar.
Make Drive Angry.
Eventually.
Look, I can't do another driving movie. I'll do a slightly different driving movie.
Do you think they went, listen, Nicolas Cage, we've got enough money for a National Treasure sequel or a God in 60 Seconds sequel? And you think maybe that's how that went down?
Almost certainly.
Okay, good.
Because he was like, do I get a chance to hang about in an Urban Outfitters in the sequel? Yep. Okay, I'm back in. Let's do it.
Back in.
But yeah, I think, and maybe Fast and Furious didn't have that many stars, so it was kind of like, well, we got nothing else going on.
Exactly.
Vin Diesel, what are you doing? Playing Dungeons and Dragons? There's no time.
What a nerd.
I know, right?
Blade Runner gets a title. Blade Runner 2. It's called Blade Runner 2049.
Okay.
Which means it's set however many years after the last one, 30 odd.
Yeah, exactly 30. I think the last one was 2019.
It was, you're right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Harrison Ford is back. Ryan Gosling is in. Mm-hmm. It's all happening.
Sure.
And it's not Ridley Scott.
Okay.
So
have we definitively determined who Ryan Gosling is playing?
I think he's just the new Deckard. That's what
I think. Okay, sure. Yeah. Okay, right.
Whether he be a robot or not.
Because he's got the look where he could be a replicant.
Yeah, but sometimes they're not necessarily handsome. Some of them look real odd. Mm-hmm. Remember that one he gets shot in the side of the head in the rain?
Yeah.
Just a real squirrely looking bloke. Yeah. I'm excited for that movie because I think I like Blade Runner. I know you hate it.
Yeah, for school-related reasons. Yeah, but no, I'm excited too, yeah.
Yeah, totally.
I'm excited to see... Well, see, that's the thing, like, because the original was sort of, like, visually, it was so...
Visual.
It was so visual,
there was too many pictures.
In a way, movies aren't these days, you know? No, but I mean, it actually, like, that vision of the future was so incredible, and a lot of it has sort of come to pass, like in terms of like, you know, massive animated billboards and all that sort of stuff.
Definitely.
I'm wondering if this sequel is going to also be visionary or it's going to be just a generic future. Yeah. Like, are they going to Total Recall it?
I hope not.
Like, where it's just a generic future.
I think if anything, it'll just be the aesthetic of the last one just kind of amped up a little bit.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I'd imagine that's how it goes. But we'd never seen, like, how many movies have done the Blade Runner world since Blade Runner?
Heaps.
Yeah. Some more successfully than others.
I actually was not sure where you were going to go with that, so I just guessed heaps. I was going to be like heaps, and you'd be like, none of them have done it exactly like Blade Runner. You're wrong. But I was correct, heaps.
And the fact that it stuck around.
Sometimes I don't know what you're thinking.
I know, why would you?
Either way.
We're different people. Mm-hmm. But like, then you get like, you know, you get like an iRobot that just kind of comes and goes. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, what was that future? Who knows?
Yeah.
And then some of them, because he even looked like Minority Report's like a kind of Blade Runner-ish universe with all the billboards and stuff and whatever. But anyway.
Soldier with Kurt Russell.
Yeah, officially a side call.
Yep. Now, you were telling me the other day.
Yeah.
Because maybe you're making a video on this.
I am.
That Star Wars is set in the... Wait, that Soldier and Star Wars
there's
are set in the
like
same
8 to 10
universe.
franchises that you can link, but there's also like for the one thing that you can find that links them, there's like 100 things that says they're not.
They're disqualified. I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's all very tangential,
circumstantial.
Thank you. I was looking for a word.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure what it was. So there was been a bunch of Doctor Strange TV spots. Oh, you got something else to show?
Actually, the last thing in this box. Wait, last thing in the box? It's a Battlestar Galactica Cylon, like a Cylon Raider.
A ship.
It's the ship.
That is cool. Now, are there dudes in those ships?
There's Cylons in the ships.
Or are they just automated?
Oh, well, they're not automated. They've got the Cylon. They're Cylons.
Yeah. But I mean, is there a Cylon in it controlling it? Or do they just have... Like, when you crash it, does a guy get out and go, bloody hell?
There's no.
Yeah,
no.
that's what I'm saying.
Okay, right, gotcha. There's no guy getting out going, bloody hell.
I should point out that...
anyway, good Loot Crate.
Yeah, absolutely. This week's episode is brought to you by Loot Crate, and if you visit lootcrate.com/weeklyplanet, you get $3 off any subscription, Mason.
Cool, man.
Pick any of them. Do you mind if people do that?
No, that's okay, actually. I'm okay with that. Morally and ethically, I'm not opposed to it.
They're big supporters of us, and we appreciate it. We did our final Caravan of Garbage.
Yes, we did.
Which is a crazy good Luke Cage story, which you broke down. And now, I should point this out, a few people... Comics Explained did the same story last week.
Okay, right.
So the few people are like, you've copied it. But you can't bang these out in a day.
They're really difficult. I mean, we could bang them out in a day, but they wouldn't be very good.
Yeah.
But the animation that we have another gentleman do
Yeah.
that is great, he can't knock it out in a day. So.
I should just point out, Eric did the animation, and Ben edited and does all the timing and puts it all together with the sound effects. I'll link both those guys below if you want any work done or you want to check out that stuff. They're definitely worth looking into. They're really good, really accommodating. They took what we did and made it way, way better.
Yeah,
infinitely more watchable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, I really appreciate that. But no, I think that was my favorite one, the Luke Cage one. So if people want to check that
Thanks,
out.
pal.
No, it's not because of you. It's a story.
I'm choosing to ignore that last sentence. I didn't even hear it. Thanks, pal.
So there's a bunch of Doctor Strange TV spots this week. One of them was interesting because it's got some reverse speak in it, and if you reverse the trailer, it makes sense going backwards.
So is that?
It's a parallelogram. No, that's not. What's the word?
It's a rhombus.
No,
I've seen that.
Shut
I
up.
did that. Yeah, I tricked you.
What's the thing where it's the same backwards as forwards?
Oh,
it's a rhombus.
It's not a rhombus. I can't remember.
Cuboid.
So just everybody who's yelling the answer at us right now, you're correct. But it's one of those.
All right, good. So basically, it looks like there's going to be a big emphasis on time travel.
Yep.
Which means the Eye of Agamotto is probably the time gem. Or one of the things that he has on him. Maybe his cape's the time gem.
If you make the Eye of Agamotto the time gem,
yep,
that means the problem I feel with making these,
they're all a thing.
They're all a thing, and they all belong to someone. So
palindrome.
Does he have to? Does he have to lose the Eye of Agamotto then?
Yeah, they all have to lose it.
Yeah, and the Vision has to lose the.
Yeah, he gets the thing pulled out of his
head. But that's the thing. Like the Eye of Agamotto is kind of like his icon, along with the cloak, and it's kind of his iconic piece.
But they keep them. Like they're not usually destroyed. They get them back.
That's true.
They've all got one.
Yeah, okay.
But they know. But the difference is they know what it is in the comics.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. All right.
So what do you think they're going to do after this is done and there's no more stuff to put into a glove?
Oh, good question.
You know what I mean?
Is
it going to be food groups?
That's right.
The food pyramid?
That's right. Yeah.
Apparently there's too much grains on that. That's what I've heard. Too much grains
these
and dairy.
days. It's probably the carbs and the dairy.
It might be. Yeah.
I don't know what other artifacts are left
in the Marvel universe.
I mean, there's tons, but I can't think of one.
Ultimate Nullifier.
I was just thinking Ultimate Nullifier. Yeah.
Various guns, handguns and the like.
Guns are good. Yeah, swords. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Willie Lumpkin's mail sack.
Sure.
What's he got in there? Who's to say?
Somebody probably has a whip.
That's a good question because, like, the Infinity Gauntlet can do anything and can destroy the entire universe. So if anything below that is kind of small potatoes.
Sure.
Like even the Ultimate Nullifier you can destroy a planet with it.
Yeah.
But I mean,
most of those things on their own can destroy a planet.
Exactly. Yeah.
No.
No.
It's interesting though.
I'm going to go with the Willie Lumpkin mail sack.
Done. Good. Who knows what's in there?
Maybe they'll just go more. I reckon it's going to be a lot of just much more Earth-based stuff.
I think we're going to be more space, more dimensions, more parallel Earths. That's where I think it's going to go.
Huh.
I think you will get your smaller stories, but I think we're going to go out.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know.
I reckon, I don't know. Yeah, I would like to see more crime fighting. More
defenders, mate.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. But maybe like more like, Iron Man stopping a bank robbery from time to time. I think that'd just be fun.
It'd be nice if he chipped in, wouldn't it?
It would, yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if he defended the financial institutions that got him rich in the first place at the expense of the poor. You know what I mean? Wouldn't that be just bloody great? That's fine. He can do whatever he wants.
Voltron Legendary Defender got a second trailer for season 2.
Yeah. And again, quite earnest.
But it's not a super earnest show though, is it?
No, it's fun.
It's real fun. I bloody love it. You know what I think? And I think I said this after when we talked about it. I think they made 22 or so episodes and they just split it randomly in half.
Okay.
Because it really ended very suddenly.
That's
They're like,
true.
we're getting sucked into a wormhole. Finish.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And this one...
You didn't feel like that was just like a season finale?
No, not at all. Okay. And also, the other reason I think that is because this is coming out in December, which means they banged out another 10 or 13 episodes of this quality of animation in that time frame.
Right, okay.
I don't think so, Mason. I'm not, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not against it.
Yep.
But I just think that they already had these pretty much ready to go.
In the can.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I might be wrong. When have I been wrong, though? Can't think of any off the top of my head.
Moving on.
Palindromes. We got to talk New York Comic Con, Mason.
This isn't the big one. It's less because it's not as big. Yeah.
Uh-huh. You get your smaller kind of reviewers, but there's still some significant stuff, Mason, that we can talk about. Now, this is happening as we speak. So I might be, we'll be updating if anything kind of happens as we go. I've been waiting for this bloody Wolverine trailer to drop.
You think it's going to happen?
I feel like it's going to happen this week. If it doesn't happen this weekend.
Well, as how our luck goes, it'll as soon as you hit publish on the podcast.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm.
It's going to be, or like...
And people will be like, why didn't you put talk about the trailer?
Because we bloody missed it, all right?
Yep.
We record on a Sunday. I feel like what's going to happen is I'm going to put out my Sunday video and then I'm going to have to go straight into making another video because they'll release it. I bet that bloody happens. But you know what, Mason? It's fine because this is apparently my job, so
yeah,
why the fuck
that's
am
right,
I complaining?
Maybe do some bloody work, mate.
Yeah. So what do we got here? I guess we should talk about Resident Evil. I've just got here Resident Evil / Underworld. We can talk about those things together.
Yep.
I didn't even get through the 4-minute Resident Evil trailer.
I did. You know what?
I got distracted.
Back on board.
How good is that giant bat creature?
That's why I'm back on board. Yeah. There's a giant bat in it.
Yeah, and she mashes it with a car.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
There's always a bit that gets you in, isn't there?
And if that's just the opener,
that
seems to be
I'd say that's definitely the opener.
Like it opens with her just crushing giant bats in a car.
Really good looking giant bat as well.
That's what I'm talking about, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But there's Wesker. There's the other one.
People wearing sunglasses at night indoors inexplicably. That's Wesker.
Is there a laser hallway? I didn't get through it.
There is a laser hallway, yeah. It's blue lasers, like blue-white lasers, yeah.
Okay, interesting.
There's a little child AI computer.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this time, she's going to reverse the virus, but also there's a personal
There's an
stake.
antivirus, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is she invincible anymore? We've talked about this.
No, she's not invincible anymore. That power was removed, I think. One of the last 2 movies.
But did she get it back?
Maybe she got it back,
in the ones that we missed.
Yeah, I think maybe she also got it back.
Looks like she got a bit banged up by that giant bat.
Yeah, that's true.
So
maybe she's not. Okay, yeah. But there's no more clones left. They're all dead, I think.
Okay, right.
I'm fairly confident she's the original.
Yeah. We should watch the last one before we watch this one. Or should we?
No, we should.
They don't really connect. Is it a desert world or not? Does everybody live on a boat
because
in the
at
ocean?
About 3, the entire world had turned into desert.
Yeah.
And then
4, there's a forest and an ocean liner. I don't know. Yeah.
Anyway, they're going. I think back to Raccoon City.
All right.
I think where it all began.
The underground facility.
There's always an underground. We've talked this to death, but it's always there's every one of these movies has. We cut to an underground bunker. It's a board meeting of the Umbrella Corporation. It's just men in suits just laughing maniacally going, ha 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 ha, we've destroyed the world and we're selling all our viruses to the highest bidder. Ha, who are you selling them to? There's nobody left. Everyone's dead. Everyone's dead. And you know what? Second point, where are you spending your money? Are you going on a holiday to the bloody south of France?
You can't go to Tokyo
gone.
Disneyland.
Everyone's dead. There's nobody going to sell you an ice cream on the beach. They've turned into a slavering dog monster. Everyone's dead.
Or a dog monster.
Why do you need money at this point?
Yeah.
Anyway, this one of those.
You'd think you'd be building society back. Yeah. And the one that I haven't seen is also the one where they build replicas of like Times Square.
That's right.
And like Tokyo and whatever. So that's apparently something they do as well. Where they just build replicas of cities in underground facilities.
And we never, you know what? And also we never see those guys with their families. So as far as I know, the entire world has been destroyed by like 12 guys in suits, and that's all they do is they sit at boardroom tables and they laugh.
But they're so rich.
And sometimes Wesker kills them all, and then they're all back. I don't know. These movies are a mess, but we should watch this.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you think of the act? Does the action look?
It's pretty good.
Right?
It looks more. Look, I think they do well with the budget of these things because these aren't like $200 million movies, but there's some pretty decent effects in most of them. Yeah.
Great. Well, we've talked about Resident Evil and Underworld. Let's move on. Now we should talk about Underworld.
Okay, the only real bit of Underworld news is they were apparently the trailer was the same as the other one and all the other movies. Everything looked blue. The Lycan War it's more intense than ever, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a new guy.
There's a blood.
There's
Get
a
the
new
blood.
leader.
Yeah, put the blood into a different
I think Kate
thing.
Beckinsale's character's gotten some sort of upgrade. Like now
seems
she's
that
faster
way.
than ever or something.
Yeah.
So she's gotten the Resident Evil upgrade.
Yeah,
so remains to be seen whether she'll lose that by the end of this movie or at the start of the next movie.
Absolutely.
Is this also the final chapter?
I don't know.
They left the door open.
No, this is Bloodlines or Blood Wars or something like that. Yeah. Bloody hell. But anyway, they talked about at the panel that they were apparently going to mix Underworld with Blade, the old Blade franchise.
Right.
The Wesley Snipes one.
Yes.
And apparently the reason they haven't done that now is because Blade has gone back to Marvel, and Marvel are going to do something with it. So we don't know what.
Great.
Probably Netflix. Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Or
maybe.
an ABC. Because they tried a Blade series, didn't they? A few years ago.
Yeah, it was with Sticky Fingers, the rapper from the group Onyx.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you watch any of it?
I watched a little bit.
And?
It was fine.
I've heard that.
Yeah, right? Yeah. What if he makes a guest appearance in the Defenders?
Okay, sure.
What if they trial him in the Defenders?
Yeah.
Because he's a good fit for the Defenders.
Absolutely.
He's
he
a
is.
street level guy.
Street level guy. He can do a flip, can't he?
Yeah. The street level villain is the Hand.
Yep.
Mystical ninjas.
Yeah.
Throwing some vampires. Why not?
Why bloody not, mate?
Yeah.
But we'll be getting to that in a minute. Don't get ahead of yourself, Mason, because we have to talk about Matt Damon's The Great Wall.
Yep.
So Matt Damon is in China.
Is that his real hair?
Like a real ponytail.
Yeah.
It would be extensions at the very least.
Yeah, because I feel I've seen like candid, like paparazzi photos of him walking through Hollywood, t-shirt, baseball cap, ponytail.
Oh, really?
And so I think, it must be extensions.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Does he look good? You happy with it?
Yeah, look. Yeah.
Do you think he'd make a good Arrow? People have said he'd be a good Arrow in the DC universe.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
I
believe that.
He'd be
Yeah.
a good Oliver Queen. It's
think
about because he's about Batman's age. Well, they're the same age. So yeah.
Do you think they're ever gonna take a DC TV star and put them into the big screen? Do you think that
in the same role?
Yes.
No.
Stephen Amell.
They should.
They should, right?
Because he's better than that show. I feel though he wasn't very good in Ninja Turtles, but that wasn't.
I feel that's when you talking to CGI turtles.
I'm gonna be a detective.
Yeah, no, that's script, and that's like, do you want him to build a more detailed backstory into his Casey Jones character?
No,
like that's not his job. His job is to show up and do his lines
and roller skate
down a freeway or whatever, right? Yeah.
Fair enough. But no, I think they might flashpoint it eventually.
Yeah.
There's kind of some signs leading towards that. But
I'm a couple of seasons behind in Arrow and The Flash, but apparently they're flashpointing all over the place.
Yeah.
They're just ripping apart that timeline.
The Arrow universe, the Arrow...
it's called the Flarrowverse now.
Is
you
it?
know that?
As it should
Flash
be.
and Arrow, yeah.
Yeah, it should be. Because Flash does a lot better. But apparently it had something like Arrow had like a 29 or 39% drop off in ratings in its opening season. People are not on board for that show.
Oh, really?
Too many bloody flashbacks, mate. I got to watch Flash season 2 and then I'll...
Okay.
Because people are still loving the Flash, mate.
I know, right?
So I got to get into it. But very positive response.
And now that
to
Supergirl is in that universe.
Yeah. And like, I probably won't watch Supergirl season 1, but I'm happy to jump on board with a bit of this stuff and the CW with Superman and whatnot. Then again, I probably won't.
What are we talking about?
The Great Wall, Mason.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, okay.
Matt Damon's gonna finally fight for honor or something with Gabriel. What's his name? Is that his name? No, I was gonna say the different dude. The guy Pedro Pascal, the dude from Game of Thrones.
Do you feel we're slowly succumbing to dementia? Have you ever thought that?
It's definitely possible.
Like, I feel we've reached the limit of knowing things about people in movies and actors and directors, and I feel like the last 50 episodes of this is just us being. What's that guy? What's his name again? I don't know. Is it Gabriel something?
Is Arrow in there? Is he in the movies?
You know what? I got a distinct Power Rangers vibe from this, and we'll probably talk about Power Rangers later.
We might have to.
But I got a distinct because we've got the sort of the samurai warriors, and they all have different coloured outfits.
Sure, yeah.
A little blue or purple or what have you. And do you think I kind of feel with this movie they should have not revealed that it's a monster movie?
Oh, really?
I would have much preferred to have gone in thinking it was a historical epic of some kind, and it just gets weirder and weirder as the movie progresses, and then all of a sudden monsters. I know there's no way that could have happened.
Sure. You hate how the reveal is kind of gone, don't you?
Yeah,
how
I do,
you kind of know everything now.
I want something. I want a little something to surprise me.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I can understand
Not
that.
too much surprise, because I do not care for surprises.
Not enough surprises or too many.
Just a little. I just just tread that perfectly fine line I've invented of being surprising but also not surprising.
But I think if you put this as a Chinese historical epic,
yes,
would you not get the same people in? Would people be like, oh, history, boring? But if you're like, but there's monsters, maybe they're rat monsters, I don't know. Like,
they look like Komodo dragons.
Okay, right, sure. So apparently that wall is the only thing defending the world. I mean, the monsters could just run the other way around the world.
Destroy a wall, yeah.
In the opposite direction.
That's magic, man.
I'm just saying.
It's magic and destiny.
I forgot.
Yeah.
But don't you think that would get more people into it? Because that to me is like, oh, there's monsters. Okay. Like that's interesting to me.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, I feel the last trailer did a little better in the sense that we got just this tiniest glimpse of what could have been a monster.
Yeah.
And maybe it's a monster, or maybe it's, the warriors on the other side of the wall messing with them, kind of thing.
Kind of like The Village.
Like The Village, exactly. I want a movie that's just like The Village.
Yeah, okay.
A movie I haven't seen.
Haven't you?
No.
Spoiler alert, there's no monsters in that movie.
Oh.
The real monster is society or something. And it's also set in the present day.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Spoiler alert. What do we got here? But look, again, there's the cause of like, why are they whitewashing the cast or whatever? This is a Chinese production that went and got Matt Damon specifically because that's apparently a thing that China are now doing.
Uh-huh. And Willem Dafoe because he was in the car at the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Matt Damon got the call and he's like...
No, he was on speaker.
Yeah.
So he had to ask him because he was there.
That's right. They were in Matt Damon's house or whatever.
They go to Matt Damon. Do you have any other friends that you think would be interested? And Matt's like, oh, well, now I have to ask you.
Willem Dafoe.
It's awkward. You have to ask him then, don't you? But no, it looks fun. And apparently there's going to be a lot more of these. That's the thing that China are going to be doing. But the French do that as well. They'll grab like a Liam Neeson or a Jason Statham or whatever, and they'll make That's
a perfect example. That's a perfect third example of those guys or whatever. In many ways,
John Travolta did one, but
he did from Paris with Love.
Yeah, and they make these kind of low budget action thrillers that do okay
with their particular demographic.
Yeah, exactly. They make them for 15 million and they make 60.
And there's some kind of tax dodge also.
Yeah, that's right, exactly. So this is the thing that China's doing. It's just people trying to appeal to the world market in the same way that Iron Man 3 and Transformers get like Asian pop stars or whatever that we don't know. So whatever, man. I don't care. Make your movie. Do whatever you want. But it looks fine.
Yeah.
It looks fine. John Wick chapter.
I would like to see some magic if they can.
Okay.
They can do it in post.
I'm sure they probably will do it in post.
If they can add some
they can't do it on the day.
If they can add some sort of Eastern wizard in post, I would be happy. Like a whole subplot and a whole character who's a wizard. If they could do that, that would be great.
All right. I'll see what I can do.
Yep.
John Wick 2, Chapter 2.
Yeah.
You weren't a massive John Wick fan, were you?
No, I was not initially because the version I saw was kind of a really cruddy cam version.
And I think also you heard it was amazing at that point, I think.
Yeah. But I since went back and I actually quite enjoyed it a lot. So.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, look, I don't think it's like amazing. It's just a really solid action movie.
Agreed.
And you know what I like about Keanu Reeves? And people are like, he's dumb.
He's acting.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you know what? Yes. Because you know what? He doesn't extend himself. Like, he knows his limits. He knows what he's good at.
That's true.
And if you look at the movies that he's picked throughout his career, there's been some duds, but he's never gone away because he's smart about what works for him. Like, he's had, 10 really iconic roles.
That's
Maybe
true.
5. But, if you look at,
Neo is 3 of them.
Yeah, like Bill and Ted's, Speed, Neo, the Lake House.
Yep.
He didn't do
chain reaction guy riding a motorcycle away from an exploding nuclear reactor.
Johnny Mnemonic.
The
one where he was in Japan fighting a monster. Don't know what that one was.
Yep.
But you know what I mean? Like John Wick.
Yep.
He didn't do Speed 2. He seems like the kind of guy that would do Speed 2, but he didn't.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? I think he's way better than people give him credit for.
I think you've just seen a pattern there where none exists. I think there are probably a lot of other people who are exactly like Keanu Reeves in terms of acting ability who've just randomly picked poorer roles and now they don't have a career
That's
anymore.
what I'm saying, because he has picked well.
I think it's just
You
chance.
think he's lucked into it?
I like Keanu Reeves a lot. I think he's good in things, but I think, and he seems like a great guy, but I think it's just sheer chance that he's still around.
I disagree.
All right, fine.
Let's get him on the show.
Okay, great.
Is your miraculous career an accident? Because you seem like an idiot.
We both like you, but one of us thinks you're not very good. Guess which one it is based on our questions. All right, we'll get him in.
Anyway, John Wick 2
looks
a bit more of the same.
I was going to say it looks exactly the same. There's people falling over gantries in nightclubs.
Yep.
There's some
gun fu.
There's some gun fu. There's some driving about.
Yep. There's a hotel where you can stay. What's her name? Ruby Rose is in it.
And I mentioned this before. Finally, a reteaming of Keanu Reeves and Lawrence Fishburne.
Mason mentioned that before the show, and I said
should have saved it for the
saved
show.
it, and you said act surprised.
And you said you would not.
I chose not to.
Yeah.
So there we go. Yeah, reteaming.
Looking forward to that.
Me too, man. Very excited.
If it could just be that. If it could just be those two in a car.
Yeah.
Just driving around.
Maybe that's how he got the job. He was in the car.
Yeah, yeah. Just telling Matrix stories.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Man, good stuff. So Gabriel Luna, who plays...
Was that the Gabriel you were talking about earlier?
It was. That's why I got him mixed up, because he's Ghost Rider.
Oh,
the new Ghost,
Robbie Reyes.
Robbie Reyes.
Right, okay.
And he said apparently if people... I've got a quote here. There's someone asked him about Ghost Rider TV series, and he said, there's been rumblings about that. It depends how much you love it. If you love it, we'll make it. Seems like the kind of thing that people do love, and they may actually give it a go.
It's been good so far. I'm not up to episode 3, but
sounds like you're off, mate.
No, I'll do it. Don't you worry about that. I'll get there.
Let's check back next week.
I've not had a lot of time.
Okay, fair enough.
We'll get there.
You've been working late. It's true.
Yeah.
All right, but no, I think that's interesting. Do you think it's an ABC thing, or do you think it should be a Netflix thing, or a movie thing? What do you do with this?
Put him in the Defenders.
Okay, just jam him in there with everybody else.
Anybody who doesn't fit in the Avengers, put him in the Defenders.
Don't you think he's too weird to be in the Defenders?
Yeah, now that I think about it. I've changed.
Because they all look like people.
Yeah.
Like, even if you put in Blade, he still looks like a bloke.
That's
and
true.
then you've got a flaming skull monster.
Well, because I'm thinking more... Because the comic book Defenders was just everybody who's too weird to be in the Avengers.
Yeah.
Like, for decades, it was just... It was Doctor Strange and it was... Yeah, Ghost Rider and... Like, the 90s revamp had just all the weird magic characters and...
Right.
Just...
And now it's all street level.
Now it's all street guys, yeah.
Is he street guys enough?
No, he's not street... Oh, I don't know.
You know what they should do?
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'd like to see this. I say that do whatever you want. But why not make Netflix Marvel movies with smaller characters? Why not make it just a 2-hour Ghost Rider movie just on a lower budget?
Yeah, sure.
Just released on Netflix. I don't need to see 13 episodes of a dude with a flaming head.
You don't want to see 13 episodes of anything.
That is correct. You are absolutely right.
Yeah.
That being said, we get to Iron Fist. Because Power Rangers, Mason. We got to talk about Power Rangers. What did you think of the trailer?
It was 1 million times better than I expected.
Me too.
Yeah? I thought it was
surprised.
honestly, I thought because there's been Power Rangers movies before.
Yeah.
And they were just the same sets and the same props and the same
putty
Zords.
spandexes.
Exactly, as the TV series, which is no good. And this was a breath of fresh air, kind of a surprise. It did seem like it had taken some cues from that Power Rangers short film.
Grittiness.
I think it's probably a coincidence, but...
I don't.
Oh, okay, right.
But they've obviously gone younger than that short film. But
Yep.
it's like someone said, it's like Chronicle and Breakfast Club.
Yes, that's true.
Mashed together.
Chronicle in there, bit of Spider-Man.
Bit of Spider-Man, yeah.
They
Something that they've included, and I'm sure this is in one incarnation of the Power Rangers, but not the one that I'm familiar, or the ones I'm familiar with. They have powers when they don't have their suits.
Right, okay, yeah.
So maybe there's probably a version of that where that's the case, but I remember it not being that way.
In the original Power Rangers TV series, are they all good at martial arts because they're Power Rangers? Or are they just...
No.
They're just,
some of them are good at it, but then like some are gymnasts.
Yes, okay, right.
But like I know like Billy isn't, and that seems to be the case for this version
Cranston.
of Billy. Yeah, Billy Cranston's in it.
We got no Zordon.
There wasn't a lot of Power Ranger stuff.
No, that's
in
true.
it. No Zords, no Zordon, no Alpha 5. Alpha 5? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, none of that. Oh, we got Rita, though.
We got Rita Repulsa, yeah, that's true.
She looks good, yeah. But no, I think it seems to be well cast. I thought we're just going to get some generic-looking CW people. But it does seem like they're not just all model-looking.
We are mean towards generic CW people.
Well,
they have feelings too.
Do they?
Nah.
No, they didn't have to develop a personality.
That's true, because
so
they're very
good
good looking. Yeah, look real good.
Do you know what I mean? Like they're not all just generic looking people.
That's true.
They look like normal people. So I don't know. I just think it's.
With
I mean, they're still
layouts.
really good looking. Don't get me wrong, Mason. I don't want to sell them short.
Yeah, they're Hollywood ugly though, which is just very, very, very good looking.
But no, I mean, I had very little interest in this, but now I'm like, you know what? This could actually be okay. So we'll see how that goes.
Let me think. Anything else about that? No, that's about it.
They've all got detention for some reason.
Yeah.
I wonder what they all got detention for. Probably being too cool. Probably doing too many spin kicks in the lunchroom. I don't know.
Spin kicks in the lunchroom. That'll do it.
Good stuff. All right. Well, the last thing we're going to talk about from Comic-Con, Mason, is the Iron Fist trailer.
Iron Fist! Yeah!
So that's the thing that we want him to yell.
Every time he punches anyone.
Yeah, that's right. Even if it's a tap?
Yes.
Or does he have to do a wind-up and a big glowy fist? And then
he never taps anyone. In my ideal version,
it's
always the Iron Fist.
Always a knockout.
He doesn't hit over 13 episodes. He maybe hits like 8 people because a lot of the time he has to wind up for it.
It's like an episode of Dragon Ball Z. They wind up for 20 minutes.
And word on the street, like word gets around that if he starts winding up, he's going to Iron Fist you. So most people just run away.
Do you think there's going to be a lot of him hitting people and they explode?
No.
Like, because he's hitting a lot of people.
No, because I think...
I know he can control it. Like,
I think because Luke Cage had the monopoly on people being, like, elephant punched through the chest.
Yeah.
So I think there's going to be an absolute minimum of that.
So you think it's going to be more finesse?
Yeah, look, I think probably... I think there might be a lot of glowy fists.
I like the glowy
towards the end.
Good effect, right?
Yeah, like, because I think at some point he's going to have to fight some sort of mystical martial arts villain.
Yeah.
Because, did you see that... There was, I think it was a promo image, and it's just him like in the air about to
Iron Fist
somebody, and there's just dozens of bodies behind him of people he's just plowed through.
I didn't see that bit. Yeah, that's cool.
It looks really good, but I think at a certain point, him fighting regular people is probably not going to be that much of a challenge. So he's going to have to fight like a mystical bad guy. So I think he's going to have like the glowy Iron Fist at the ready, but it's not going to.
Right.
Like, since he's fighting a mystical bad guy, he's not just going to be punching their head off. You know what I mean?
Okay, I get you. Fair enough.
No.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. Looks great, though.
It looks really good.
The martial arts looks good.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Apparently, they showed footage. People lined up 9 hours in advance to get in on this, that's outrageous, right? Would you line up 9 hours for anything?
No. Not... Maybe... No, I was going to say maybe 10 years ago I would have, but probably not even then.
I don't think so.
But, yeah.
I knew you then.
Yeah.
Don't lie.
No, because then I wouldn't have had an iPhone.
Yeah, well, that's right.
I was going to say, because back then you couldn't just get the footage immediately afterwards.
You kind of could, though.
Yeah.
Oh, not as much.
That's recording, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Just checking.
We're nearly at an hour.
All right.
Yeah, there was less kind of, we won't put this online, but now you kind of have to put stuff online because otherwise it just gets leaked.
Yeah.
But apparently they showed some fight scenes in the from it, and apparently it's spectacular.
Great.
Which I'm really looking forward to because that was one of the things I felt Luke Cage really lacked.
Yeah, the fights weren't a challenge.
No.
Like, they weren't a challenge to the character, and they weren't fun to watch.
No.
So you have to have one or the other.
And that's the thing, and you don't, obviously he fights differently than Daredevil or Iron Fist because he doesn't have the finesse. He's a bulldozer, but it just didn't.
Yeah, but that's
flat.
and I mean, we talked about this for the Luke Cage episode as well. But Jessica Jones has kind of a similar problem where she's also kind of a bulldozer, but those fight sequences are still fun.
Yeah,
and they were about something. Like, it was often like she had to be fighting and also preventing somebody jumping off a building or something like that.
Absolutely.
Like, there was, they were fights where just having strong fists couldn't save the day necessarily.
Exactly. And I still think the best Luke Cage fight scene is in Jessica Jones,
the bar
whether
fight,
in the bar fight or even the one where Jessica Jones fights Luke Cage.
Yeah,
that's quite good as well. Anyway, also Sigourney Weaver was revealed as the villain in The Defenders.
Yes, that's true.
My only hope is that we just don't get just another drug dealer crime boss.
Right,
like,
exactly.
because everybody's a drug dealer crime boss at this point. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. Though Purple Man was a bit different, I guess. But
Yeah.
he was still, he had an empire of sorts. Oh, not really. He just kind of build one in a second.
He had an empire of people that he'd made stand in a closet until they weed themselves. That was his empire, ultimately.
That's the dream of a lot of politicians. That's my understanding. But do you have any speculation on who you think she might be? I don't, if I'm honest.
No, I don't either.
I think it's a good choice.
It is a good
She's
choice,
great.
yeah. But imagine putting her in a costume.
Yeah, well, I don't think she's that. That's why I think she's just another corrupt senator or whatever. Right. You know what I mean? What I'm really excited, though, for is to see Daredevil hinted at mysticism, but Danny Rand is going to fully hit it hard. And I find that interesting that they're bringing this out after Doctor Strange, because Doctor Strange opens the door.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. That explains why this is now March 10 or March 17.
Well, apparently it wasn't initially supposed to be, but then they pushed Luke Cage forward. For a few reasons, but because people responded well to Luke Cage from Jessica Jones. So, yeah.
When do you think Luke Cage and Danny Rand are going to become best friends?
Straight away.
Yeah?
No.
Because they kind of, like, there's no reason they have to be in this universe. But in the comic book universe, like, they were pals and heroes for hire partners for decades. So I kind of want a little bit of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you think they're going to have a connection?
I think so. No, I think so. I apparently there was a new retelling of Iron Fist recently.
Mm-hmm.
What the bloody hell is it?
Not Immortal Iron Fist?
That's it.
Yep.
Yeah, my brother read it, the one you don't like.
Yep.
And he says it's fantastic.
Yeah, I've read Immortal
That's what I
Iron
want.
Fist,
Yeah, you recommend it?
Yeah.
Well, that's what you're reading for this week, Mason. You can't mention
No, but I
anything
want
else.
another one.
No, that's it, mate.
It's real good.
Okay.
Someone here said she might be Mephisto. Sigourney Weaver.
Okay, sure. She's played some kind of weird devil monster before.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so that's just a shell. Like, that's not really what... Like, that's just a facade. Yeah. Okay, I would love that. That would be great.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Full-on mystical magical. I didn't like how Daredevil had a lot of questions about mysticism in the first season and then didn't really answer them in the second. Maybe you go into a pot and then they fill it with blood and then you come back to life.
So you're hoping in this they might just be like, hey, Daredevil, you had a lot of questions. The devil did it. He's like, all right.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Well, that explains most of the things I've seen.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Yeah. Who's a better martial artist? Iron Fist or Daredevil?
Iron Fist.
Is that, like fighter in general?
Iron Fist.
If you strip away strength?
Iron Fist.
If you take away the Iron Fist?
Still Iron Fist.
What if Daredevil is stretched? Is that a good warm-up? He's done a couple of laps.
And Iron Fist hasn't stretched.
He's also stretched.
Oh, then it's still Iron Fist.
Okay, he hasn't stretched.
Well, twist, even though he hasn't stretched, he's stretched. He's just that good.
Good stuff. Is there anything else from Comic-Con we can touch upon? Let me just check Twitter.
Let's check Twitter. We got a War for the Planet of the Apes teaser.
Oh, I forgot to mention that. Yeah. Apparently they showed some footage, or they will be showing some footage of a scene, and what it's going to be is Andy Serkis in the mocap, and then it kind of switches between that and the special effects kind of get layered on as the scene progresses.
Okay, sure.
I think that'd be really interesting.
Yeah.
I think that's something they couldn't necessarily do when they did the first one, but now that you kind of know the process behind it, it's less kind of abrasive to see how it's made.
Would you watch, like we were talking about DVD features earlier?
Yeah.
Would you watch, like it's an Andy Serkis movie box set?
Right.
You can watch the movies regular,
Yep.
or you can watch them. It's just Andy Serkis being Andy Serkis.
Oh, definitely.
You
I'll
call it
watch
Circus
that.
Wiles, and it's just him in the mocap suit in every scene that he's in. That'd be great, right?
That'd be fantastic. Well, there's a lot of things on here of Twitter of Chris Hardwick taking selfies with Walking Dead casts. There's a lot of that.
Love it. My favourite thing.
Who do you think's dead in the Walking? Oh, we should also mention the Defenders got together. They were on.
They did,
on stage,
that's true.
Which
Yeah,
is very cool.
It always feels a bit odd to me when they do that and one character hasn't had their debut yet, though.
Oh, you think it's too early?
It's too early.
Premature?
Yeah. They're like, look, it's all of us, but we haven't seen Danny Rand do anything yet.
Yeah, fair
except
point.
punch through that hospital wall.
Iron Fist.
Iron Fist.
Yeah, good stuff.
The martial arts in the trailer does look great, though.
Yeah.
Just from the tiny little bits we've seen.
What we didn't mention...
He's fighting in a suit.
Like-
I love a bit of that.
Like with the Power Rangers, though, we didn't really get a look at the costumes.
No.
Do you think we're going to get like episode 13 or whatever?
An Iron Fist costume.
Yeah.
Maybe we might never...
We have to see it.
I reckon it might be... What do you think of the tattoo?
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
It's a bit thin, is it? I don't know what it is.
No, it looks fine. It just looks like a grease paint tattoo.
Yeah.
But I guess that's kind of what that's kind of what it is. I reckon his costume is gonna be
because he doesn't need the Daredevil shell helmet.
Yeah,
They might give it to him anyway.
I think it's gonna be kind of Arrow style, like it's just gonna be green and leatherish.
In the Flarrowverse, the one that is in the Flarrowverse.
Yeah, in the Flarrowverse.
Okay.
You're excited to use that word in your daily
Very
life now.
excited, yeah.
I think for the most part, you're not even going to see that.
No, I don't think so
chest
either.
hair.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going. I don't think because I mean, some people have made some fan art, and it's like Luke Cage street clothes, Jessica Jones street clothes, Daredevil costume, Iron Fist in the
Flouncy open
in
shirt.
the comic book version, and it doesn't fly at all.
No,
I think it's just going to be like predominantly green clothing, or like your fisherman pants.
Okay,
You
sure.
know, green fisherman's
You're fighting fisherman's pants.
I'm going to say green fisherman's pants, like just a green, like a long sleeve shirt or something like that.
Okay, fair enough.
That's it.
Not much of a costume, Mason.
Oh, well, look.
Is that something you put on before you go out to fight crime?
No, he'd probably just be in the dojo.
And then
Wearing the fisherman's pants.
adventure kicks off.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he's like, I just want to get out of these clothes.
That's right, yeah.
But the adventure keeps rolling
I
on.
want to put on my amazing costume, which is in that cupboard over there. No time, though. It's so comic accurate, and yet it's perfect for the real world. It's a shame I never get to wear it, or, in fact, open the closet door so anyone can see it.
All right, well then, you know what we got to move on to?
What's that?
What we reading?
Oh, what we're gonna read. Our famous segment.
I'm doing the thing. What have you read or reading?
I watched a couple episodes of iZombie. A lot of people have recommended that to me.
People like that, yeah. And?
It's okay. Well, it's interesting. It's pacing-wise, the first episode is really odd. It seems to me like maybe they filmed a whole pilot episode.
Right.
And then they didn't use it, so they just crunched her origin down into like 2 minutes.
Oh.
It's basically, she's like, I'm a young go-getter and I'm out to become a heart surgeon and everything's going to be great. And then somebody's like, why don't you go to a party on this boat? And she's like, I'm not normally that kind of person, but I guess I'll go to a party on a boat. And then it cuts to the boat and everybody's being attacked by zombies. And she's like, oh no. And she gets scratched by a zombie and she falls into the water and then she wakes up in a body bag. And she's like, yes, I'm a zombie now.
So being a zombie's not a big deal.
Well, there aren't that many of them.
Right.
But, like, it seems annoying.
Yeah, but like she's got a mind.
Yeah, she does. She loses her mental faculties if she doesn't eat brains.
Right. So do they like provide that to as the government?
No, she works in a morgue.
Right.
And so she sneaks
doesn't
brains.
she get memories of?
Yeah, and she can obtain memories and skills of the people whose brain she eats temporarily.
What if she eats the brain of a real clumsy dude?
Probably fall over a lot.
Oh no.
I haven't gotten to an episode like that yet, but
I'm sure there's a whole episode or season based around that.
Probably. Anyway, and then there's the medical examiner. He's in on it, and there's like a.
Oh, so not everybody knows that she's iZombie.
Correct.
Why is it called iZombie? Is it like I am a zombie? Is that what it's supposed to be? Or is it a play on the iPad?
I think it might be a play on that. Yeah.
Very clever.
It is very clever, isn't it? It's modern. And there's like
it's very 2000.
There's like a new police detective, and then they help each other, and she pretends to be psychic, which I guess she is in a way. But I mean, that's not really a. Either way is a weird premise. Like they could have. I know this is based on a comic book, but there should be a rational explanation as to why she can know what she can know what the victim sees or whatever.
Right.
But people are not on board with the idea that she's a brain-eating zombie who can obtain memories. But they seem to be totally fine with her being a psychic.
Okay. Does she look like a zombie?
She's very pale and she has white hair.
Does she wear like makeup to kind of hide it?
Yes.
Good on her.
Not a lot. She's still very pale though.
Great.
It's pretty fun. I don't know.
Good.
It's fun.
Good
I don't know if I'll go. Look, I'll go back to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. before I go back to iZombie.
You've heard it here first.
That's right.
Westworld premiered.
I should have watched Westworld.
You haven't watched it.
God damn it.
There's been 2 episodes. They released 2. Oh, no, I can't bloody talk about it because you haven't watched it.
Yeah, but I'll watch it this week. We'll talk about it next week.
That's fine. But no, I think you'd really enjoy it. It's got a very intriguing premise. I mean, you're familiar with Westworld.
The original Westworld,
They've taken what was an interesting concept that they did in the 70s, and they've just really what you can do today with modern technology and everything. They've really kind of opened it up. Who's a robot or who isn't it, Mason? A little bit of that.
So it's like an immersive experience.
It's like exactly like that.
Okay, right.
So it's like when you wear Google Glass, but even a little bit better, if you can imagine. But yeah, do you want to know the basic premise? So you go into Westworld. Yep. It's never clear like what exactly the year it is, or even if it's Earth, or if there's another planet.
Okay, right.
It's not really relevant, I guess. But so you just rock up on a train and you get off, and then
are there different worlds? Is there only?
Well, we don't know that. I'd imagine there is. I think there's hints at it, but also the further out you go from town, the more weird and dangerous it gets.
Okay, right.
Yeah. So and it's kind of about what it means to be human, and because every disease is curable, Anthony Hopkins' character kind of facilitates the whole thing. He's the creator, but he's not the money, as far as I can tell.
Okay.
And but he's saying he finds robots more fascinating because you can evolve them, but because humans aren't dying anymore, there's no this is it. The evolution is done.
Okay. Yeah. And so is it a situation where when you go into Westworld, you do not know who's human and who's not?
Yeah, it's pretty hard to distinguish.
Okay.
But once there's kind of tells when you talk to somebody.
Okay.
Anybody who's a robot, you can kind of command to kind of do stuff.
Oh, I see. So there's a whole bunch of real people in this Westworld, but you don't necessarily know who's who.
No, but the thing is, well, like if you've got a gun, you can kill anybody. Okay. But if you point it at a person, it won't work.
Ah, I see.
So it's like that kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So
For now.
Maybe
the rules will change.
That's right. Well, that's right. You can shoot like somebody point blank, like a robot, and kind of get away with it. Okay. So that's kind of the way it goes. But no, it could be one of those things where it falls off the deep end, like Lost or whatever.
Yep.
But I'd imagine that it seems like they've got a plan.
I feel I feel Hollywood as a whole has learned its lesson from Lost.
Are you ready for the next segment, Mason? I bet you are.
I'm just looking up, speaking of Western, somebody recommended, I haven't watched it yet, but the TV show Banshee, which is about a guy, it's about a criminal who takes the place of a small town sheriff who's killed on his first day, and apparently it's like real violent and brutal.
Okay,
A lot of people
cool.
say that's really good. But anyway, if anybody's got any thoughts.
I'll check it out.
Anyway, letters.
One was letters, oh letters, we love you. Some letters, they're only a day away. Hang on, they're here right now. We're gonna do letters.
Well done, Mason.
Thank you.
You're pretty good at that.
I'm all right.
For an idiot.
Aww.
If you want to contact the show, please do by #WeeklyPlanetPod on Twitter, and we'll find some of them and read them and talk about them, won't we?
Yes.
This is an interesting one for you, Mason. It's from Fireblade4256. Do you think...
Wait, is it going to be a question about fire blades? Because I've got many opinions.
Let me get to it.
Okay.
With a flyer blade... I said flyer.
You did say flyer
Sorry,
blade.
It's not about fire blades.
I don't care about flyer blades. I only care about fire blades.
Do you think it was a good thing that the MCU started out without characters like Spider-Man or the X-Men?
Yes.
Why do you think that? I agree with
Because
you.
all they had were, like, they kind of, in order to sort of salvage bankruptcy, they kind of sold off what would be their A-list characters as
Yes.
sort of this last ditch attempt, like Spider-Man and the X-Men, and just...
And Blade.
And Blade. Well, yeah, they
Yeah,
made like...
no, I know, you're right.
Yeah. Did you know they made like 75 grand off Blade? Like the first Blade movie.
Really?
They made like a pittance.
Oh, that's not
Because
enough.
they were like, oh yeah, we'll just take that money and that's... anyway.
That'll do us. Oh, okay, fair
Yeah.
enough.
But I think it's good because they had to make the best of their B-list characters.
Yes.
Like, again, Iron Man, a lot of people were like, is this guy a robot? What's this guy? Like,
Yeah.
nobody knew who he was or what his deal was.
You can't just rely on churning out the same Spider-Man movie several times.
Yeah.
You have to make an interesting story, cast it well, get a good director.
Or you could just churn out the same Spider-Man movie for decades.
Those are your options, aren't they?
Oh, they are, yeah. Uh-huh.
So, no, I completely agree with you. You kind of, when you're limited in that way, you have to be more creative.
Yeah.
And I think that's obviously worked to their advantage. The other thing is, most of these guys, well, they're the original Avengers team.
That's true, yeah.
So like they had all the ones that they needed to
Yeah,
make
true.
it to make it interesting, and they'd got the Hulk back obviously, so they were able to put it fully together. Because I mean, who wanted to see a Captain America film before like 2009 or whatever? Before they started amping it up.
It could have got... Look, it could have been a horrible disaster.
Yeah, it absolutely could have been.
Uh-huh.
And that was the thing when it was announced. Like all the websites were like, well, Marvel are rolling out their B list or whatever.
Uh-huh.
That was the way they reported on it. But look who's laughing now, Mason.
Us. Ha 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 ha.
Do we get what? Do we? Why would we be laughing?
No, I was just thinking of a funny
how
thing
do
I
we
heard.
benefit? Oh, okay.
I
right.
was thinking of a funny thing I heard in an Umbrella Corporation board meeting.
Was it funny and or sinister?
Yeah, it was both of those things. I just love them. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think limitations of filmmakers are not always a bad thing.
I agree.
I think often when you get unlimited money and unlimited whatever, then it can ruin you. The Hobbit. Zach Shepard says
throwing some shade on the Hobbit there.
at Zishep, thoughts on Plinkett's idea that the 10 years leading into The Force Awakens would have been a more interesting movie. #WeeklyPlanetPod. Now, did you watch the Red Letter Media Mr. Plinkett Force Awakens review?
No, but you mentioned it.
I did. We talked about it earlier this week, didn't we?
In our personal lives.
That's right. It was
Yes.
like an hour and a half or so. But basically, there's a bit where he said he would have enjoyed the movie The Force Awakens if it was the 10 years leading up to The Force Awakens.
Okay.
So basically the fall of Kylo Ren and blah-de-blah.
I mean, we'll get that, I would assume.
I think we will. Maybe we'll get some flashbacks. We'll definitely get it in comic form or book form.
Yeah.
And I do want to see it. But at the same time, and you're a big proponent of this, Star Wars is good because it opens up and you're in the middle of something.
Yes.
And a whole bunch of stuff has happened.
We don't need to know what's happened before
So,
that.
I think that is an interesting story, but I don't think that they made a mistake by not telling it. I'm kind of happy with the story that they told.
And also, if they did do that, we'd have another movie or series of movies about a whiny emo dude in black who's sad and angry all the time, and
then kills his dad.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't.
You don't need any of that.
Yep.
No, fair enough. Yeah, so again, I want to know that story. But
and
no.
I'm also a proponent of leaving that stuff out.
Yes.
Because no matter what the story, no matter how well they write it, it's not going to be as good as what you imagined in your head.
No. And
So-
I don't think also we're going to get that movie because it's set too close to the events of The Force Awakens.
And we'll never get Harrison Ford back.
Yeah, because he'll die in real life.
Yeah. Unless you write it that he was an absentee dad, and that's
Yeah,
why.
sure.
Yeah.
You can de-age as well.
Yeah.
I think the next Star Wars movie, I think there's a very good chance we're going to get a flashback.
Or you could get the guy who's playing young Han Solo to be old Han Solo.
To be slightly older.
Correct, yeah. Uh-huh.
That would definitely work.
I think so.
Yeah. They got to be careful with how they use the young Han Solo, though, because if you get too close to A New Hope, doesn't line up.
That's true.
What does it really matter in the end?
Doesn't matter.
David Mead says...
Is this a question about mead?
No.
No.
It's another one about flyer blades. I don't know.
Oh, that's weird.
The hashtag Weekly Planet Pod. Halloween episode about vampire films. That would be fantastic.
I think that's a typo. I think he
meant
to say
mistake. Yeah,
he meant to say fantastic. I think there, because fantastic's not a word.
Hang on, I'll just tweet back and let him know.
Okay, great.
Okay, so we normally do we do a Halloween themed episode?
I can't remember.
But maybe. Anyway, we should make it a thing. So maybe this year we could do vampire movies.
Okay, great.
Whatever, yeah.
All right.
I think we should do it definitely maybe not this year as well, like a horror comics episode.
Yeah, because we do so well with horror.
Look, I could definitely do a horror comics episode.
Yeah, okay.
And I could definitely do a vampires
Great.
episode. And I could definitely do a mummy episode where I just talk about the Mummy trilogy.
Me too. All right, so let's do a vampire episode where we talk ad nauseum about vampire movies we've probably talked about before, and then we'll watch a couple of new ones that we're unfamiliar with.
That's right.
Uh-huh.
And as is always the case, please don't email us and be like, I can't believe you didn't talk about whatever. Believe it. We haven't seen every movie. They're just some of the things that we've seen. I think that's the show for this week, but quick shout out to Patrick on his birthday, Mason.
Oh, is he 13 years old?
No, that's a different guy.
Oh, okay.
You can shout that bloke out as well. He's Sam's boyfriend, and he's a big Star Trek and Doctor Who nerd. Throwing some shade there, Mason.
Yeah, wow.
In your face. But very, very exciting. While you're bringing up that other one, Mason, I'll just quickly check in on NYCC. New York CC.
Yes.
Nah, nothing, mate.
Great. Confessions of Nadia on Twitter. Hey, James and Nick.
Hello.
9th of October is my brother and my birthday. They have the same birthday. He's turning 13, I'm turning 15. Giving those guys a happy birthday shout out.
Little known fact, Mason.
I know you guys haven't done this in a while. We're back, baby. Shout outs are back, baby.
No, they're not.
They're back, baby. Send in your shout outs. I'll shout out anything, baby.
Send them to Mason. Don't send them to me.
If you could give him the title of official little brother of the podcast, if it isn't already taken. I don't think it is taken, but now
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Now, look, I already have a little
There are
brother.
no names here, but happy birthday, Confessions of Nadia and Confessions of Nadia's brother.
Little brother. Mm-hmm. You know, we're talking about siblings being born on the same day.
Yes.
Myself and my little brother are actually born
1 day apart.
Oh, yeah. You already knew that. It's not as good, is it? It's not even a good story.
It's not even a good story, yeah. And your other brother, who knows when he was born?
December-ish, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
It's not important.
Oftentimes I will wish happy birthday to you and your brother and the third brother on the same day because I'm like, it saves time.
Well, he used to get a present on my brother's...
Oh, an unbirthday present. Yeah.
Which I think is unfair. I think that's a lesson in that. To be like, you know what, it's not your birthday, you don't get a present.
Do you think your parents should have taught him a lesson by giving you all three a birthday present, and then when it came to his actual birthday, no present for him?
Yeah, that's right.
Did you get a present on his birthday?
No, I didn't.
Wow, so he got 2 presents.
He got 2 presents.
Wow.
But I think because also his birthday is near Christmas.
Oh, so he got a lesser present.
No, I mean, I don't need a present because Christmas is rolling around.
I guess that's true.
That being said, more presents, mate.
Yeah, he still gets 3 presents. Wow.
Yeah. You know what's a great present?
Finally realised which one's the favourite in your family. Your brother, the one I like. Makes sense.
Maybe it's your influence.
That's why I like him so much.
Presents. Mm-hmm. You know what's a great present, though?
What's that?
Money.
I thought you were going to say our sponsor, Loot Crate.
That's also true. But money's a great
Money's
present.
great as well,
If
isn't
you're
it?
unsure what to give somebody, unless it's a girlfriend or wife, just give them money. Maybe a voucher?
No, that limits what they can spend their
That's
money on.
true. I don't want a CD.
It's all right.
But speaking of, Mason, where can people do all the things that we do?
You can find us on Weekly Planet Pod on Facebook and Twitter and Gmail and Bandcamp.
Yep.
You can find me at Wikipedia Brown on Twitter.
Yep. You can find me at Mr. Sunday Movies on Twitter.
You can find The Weekly Planet on Twitter. That's our friend Robert Collings.
Yes. We've recorded
He's our Girl Friday.
He certainly is.
And by that I mean he's better than us at everything.
Correct.
Yep.
We should also mention we recorded a bonus video game episode of Caravan of Garbage, which will come out not this week, next, hopefully.
Great.
So we had some trouble with it.
Yes.
Let's just say we're probably not going to do any more video games.
No,
now.
I do not know how I do not know how people do that on the regular. Just do screen video
Everything's
capture.
crashing.
Everything's crashing. Look,
And I have a really good computer as well.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe you don't, though.
Apparently not.
Were you hang on, did you go into the store and you were like, I'd like a really good computer, please? And they're like, sure, this one's
this
really
is pretty
good.
This is heavy. Yeah, no, I specifically...
Look at all the cogs in it. More cogs means more power. And
more
you're like,
whirring noises means more... No, this is a gaming laptop.
Okay.
It's like built so you can dump in massive video files and it will not crash.
But oh boy.
Yeah.
I
I mean, a part of it was also human error. Also, my capture card doesn't record sound, so I have to run a different program to record the sound.
Yep.
And I've done so much to try and work around that. I've changed sound drivers and whatever. I cannot get it to work.
was thinking, I know someone who used to work on Good Game, and I'll find out what they used when they captured PC stuff.
Okay.
I mean, we're still never going to do this again.
What I was thinking of getting is getting a television.
Yes.
That you can plug in a hard drive and it records straight on. I'm thinking of if we do it again, I'll probably just do that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Anyway,
or never.
look, it was kind of a nightmare, but we did it, and I think it was pretty good fun.
Worked out well in the end.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't edited it, but and there should be some interesting stuff in that one as well.
Great.
Outside of help.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. What else? Is that it?
Okay, so let's
say Patreon. Did you say t-shirts?
No, I should. If anybody out there is listening and wants to help support the show, keep the lights on so we can keep bloody doing. I can take some time off and do these hours-long video game things. You can go to patreon.com/Mr. Sunday Movies.
Yep.
Or we've got an Amazon affiliate link in the episode description. You click on that, you go to Amazon, regular Amazon, buy something on Amazon. We're going to kick
The merch
back.
store is up and running.
At TeePublic?
Yeah, but there's a specific link. It's like store/something. So I'll link it below.
Great.
So the creators get a cut, we get a cut, and it's a better deal than Redbubble apparently. So
Nice.
for everybody.
Ooh.
So it's really good. Yeah.
That does sound good.
So and the money also goes straight, like it gets split automatically.
Oh,
So
cool.
it's not like there's no finangling.
Yeah, good.
None of that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you to the Brute and the Basilisk and Rackham for all our themes.
Correct.
Thank you to everybody who's liking the show and subscribing and listening and telling their friends.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
We appreciate it. Yeah, it helps a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any review helps.
Yeah.
The positive ones more so, I'd imagine.
So yeah.
I'm not sure
but
how it
any
works.
publicity is good publicity.
I don't think that's true.
So if you're going to give us a bad review, bloody scroll it in blood on the side of a skyscraper or something. I don't know.
Good stuff. Next week, maybe Harry Potter.
Maybe Harry Potter.
We should do it before we forget.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, forget what happened in the movies.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. I got some stuff to say.
All right. Grab that gem, you guys. We'll
Thanks.
see you next week.
Bye.